Welcome back. Currently, we are learning Python, and this is day 25 of the playlist titled Python Beginner Boost. And in this video, we will be doing some code experiments. So, I will write some code with errors, and then we will read the error messages from the terminal, and then we will try to correct those errors. So, let's begin. So, let me write one variable here. Great. And let's try to print this variable without defining its value. So when we try to do this, then a error should be printed on the terminal. Let's try to execute the code python 3. After that, the name of the file, which is code exp.py, and let's press enter. And as you can see on the screen, we are getting one error, which is name error. Name greet is not defined. It is clearly saying us that greet name is not defined here. So let's try to define the name greet hello. And now let's save the code and execute the code. As we have already corrected the issue, so the error should not be displayed on the screen and greet should be printed. So hello should be printed on the screen. As you can see, hello is printed. So this is how we will solve a error when it says name xyz is not defined. So we will go to that line, we will define the value and come back and execute the code. Now let's try to print something without this parenthesis closed. Let's try to execute this code. Again, as you can see, there was some syntax error. This parenthesis was never closed as it is shown on the terminal. So it means we have somewhere in our code in line number 6, it is saying in line number 6 we are using the print statement, and here the parenthesis is there, but it is not closed. So we will go to line number 6, do the correction, and will execute the code again, and it will now work seamlessly. So let's move to the next example, which is I will write some number here. After that, I will write some message. Your age is plus and the name of the variable age. So this is what I wanted to do. So let's try to execute this code and see what will happen. Let's execute this, and here we are getting one error which is on line number 9, as you can see on the terminal. So on line number 9, message your age is and can only concatenate string not int. So this age is storing some integer, and we are trying to concatenate string with integer, which is not allowed in Python. So what we can do is we can convert this integer into a string, and then we can concatenate it. So let's convert it into a string using str class, and let's execute the code. And as you can see on the screen, now the error is gone. So if we try to print this message, then it should be printed on the screen. Let's print it. Now it is printed on the screen. Now let's write some more thing. Suppose I am creating a list here, list containing some number 1, 2, 3, and I try to access the index number 3. So I want to print the value at index number 3, then it will give me an error because currently the list is storing only 3 values, and we are trying to access the value at index number 3, and in Python indexing start at 0. So we haven't defined a value at index number 3, we have only defined the value from index number 0 to 2. So let's execute this code, and it will give us some index error. So as you can see, the error is on line number 13, and it says list index out of range. We are trying to access the index which is out of range, so we are accessing the incorrect indexes here. It can only access the index from 0 to 2 because its length is 3. As you can see, now the error is gone. Let's try one more thing. Let's create a number and try to store a string into it. We will create a number, and we have already used the class integer, and here we are passing abc. So it is trying to convert abc into integer, which is not possible, so it will give us an error. Let's see what will be the error message. As you can see, value error, invalid literal. for int with base 10. So it is an invalid literal and it is on line number 15. So we will go to line number 15 and we will find out that we are using here the int function and we are trying to pass a string here. So that's a wrong thing. Now let's try one more thing. Suppose we are defining a method def greeting, and instead of giving indentation we start writing from here print hello. Let's save this code and try to execute this code, and let me just comment this line number 15 because we don't want to print this error, else the execution will stop at line number 15. Let's execute this and see we are getting one error which is indentation error expected an intended block after function definition on line number 17. So it is expecting an intended block. So we will come to line number 18 and we will press a tab here and the code will be intended, and now if we will execute the code then that error is gone. So these are some of the silly mistakes which we as a beginner developer do. So let's, and this is how we can find the issues and correct it. So that's it in this video. We will learn more concept in the next video. Thank you very much.